Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. To perceive is to suffer. A friend to all is a friend to none. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living differ from the dead. What is a friend? A single soul dwelling in two bodies. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Hope is a waking dream. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Happiness depends upon ourselves. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. A constitution is the arrangement of magistrates in a state. A likely impossibility is always preferable to an unconvincing possibility. All human actions have one or more of these 7 causes: chance, nature, compulsions, habit, reason, passion, desire. All human beings, by nature, desire to know. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. Criticism is something we can avoid easily by saying nothing, doing nothing, and being nothing. Democracy is when the indigent, and not the men of property, are the rulers. Good habits formed at youth make all the difference. For what is the best choice, for each individual is the highest it is possible for him to achieve. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. Every rascal is not a thief, but every thief is a rascal. Even when laws have been written down, they ought not always to remain unaltered. Equality consists in the same treatment of similar persons. Each man judges well the things he knows. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in deserving them. Happiness is activity. Happiness is an expression of the soul in considered actions. He who has never learned to obey cannot be a good commander. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. In all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. It is easy to perform a good action, but not easy to acquire a settled habit of performing such actions. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom.
Liars, when they speak the truth, are not believed. It is possible to fail in many ways, while to succeed is possible only in one way. Love is composed of single soul inhabiting two bodies. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. It is not enough to win a war, it is more important to organize the peace. Man is a goal-seeking animal. His life only has meaning if he is reaching out and striving for his goals. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. Obstinate people can be divided into the opinionated, the ignorant, and the boorish. Poetry demands a man with a special gift for it, or else one with a touch of madness in him. Piety requires us to honor truth above our friends. Of all the varieties of virtues, liberalism is the most beloved. No one would choose a friendless existence on condition of having all the other things in the world. Poetry is finer and more philosophical than history, for poetry expresses the universal, and history only the particular. Perfect friendship is the friendship of men who are good, and alike in excellence, for these wish well alike to each other qua good, and they are good in themselves. Men acquire particular quality by constantly acting in a particular way. My best friend is the man who in wishing me well wishes it for my sake. No notice is taken of a little evil, but when it increases it strikes the eye. Most people would rather give than get affection. Misfortune shows those who are not really friends. Men are swayed more by fear than by reverence.
Republics decline into democracies and democracies degenerate into despotism. The actuality of thought is life. Something is infinite if, taking it quantity by quantity, we can always take something outside. The gods too are fond of a joke. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. The antidote for 50 enemies is one friend. The difference between a learned man and an ignorant one is the same as that between a living man and a corpse. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. The happy life is regarded as a life in conformity with virtue. It is a life which involves effort and is not spent in amusement. The beauty of the soul shines out when a man bears with composure one heavy mischance after another, not because he does not feel them, but because he is a man of high and heroic temper. The least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later 1,000-fold. The most perfect political community is one in which the middle class is in control, and outnumbers both of the other classes. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching. The proof that you know something is that you are able to teach it.